supposed to go into town today because we're supposed to maybe get another snowstorm. I guess in about a week. I don't know, a few days. She wants to fill the freezer back up, which I agree. But on cold days like this, I go ahead and recondition the battery. There's a recondition button right here. Kind of desulfate. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word. Desulfonate or whatever it is. The battery. Now, I realize a lot of people can't stand what I do, and that's fine, but I'm happy with what I do. I don't even think I'm an idiot. I've been criticized for reconditioning that battery before. You should just get a new one. You're taking a risk. That battery's 6 years old. I must be doing something right. I come out here on cold mornings and recondition it. I mean, I just Googled it for the sake of this video. Does that recondition button works? And it says, yeah, if you do it regularly, it works. So I do it every cold morning in the wintertime. And I don't even let the thing finish. I just run it until we're ready to go. So I don't know, it's been probably about an hour now on there. So when Carolyn's ready to go, I'll disconnect it and the truck will start up great. And the thing is, the truck doesn't even struggle. Most cars, even with a new battery, when you do it this way, it starts like normal. Which kind of brings me to a video I made 2 days ago. Yeah, and in that video I was talking about solar panels. There was a day, there's been about a week, that it really appeared the sun had dimmed. Maybe I didn't explain it enough, but I said it several times in the video that it just was not as bright. It was a clear day like this, not a cloud in the sky. I pointed to an airplane in the sky. It was a very clear day, but the sun looked dim. I even said, I know you think I'm going to be crazy on this, but it looked like the solar eclipse that we had, what, last year, 2 years ago, whatever it was. The voltage started to drop as the moon started to cross into the path of the sun. I'm not talking about the full solar eclipse. I'm talking about as it was coming across, you could see the dimming of the sun. And that's what it looked like the other day. It just looked dimmer. But as always, the comment section is always far superior and smarter than a guy who's been working with solar panels most of his adult life. I've had them in my house for the longest time, and then took a short intermission, I would say 5 years of not having them. So I would say I was probably, I don't know, maybe 30 when I got my first panel. I actually tried to build my own set from little 6-inch solar, forget what they call them, but they were they were just so fragile. You bumped them and they broke, so I kind of gave up on that project. But that was my first attempt at it. That was years ago. So I got all kinds of, here's your problem. And first you get about a dozen people telling you, oh, it's the government. Now, what I said is, I think I even said in this video, they had not been working for about a week. So we've been in winter for a period of time now. And I'm talking about 1 week we've had a problem. And I really couldn't figure it out. Now, I don't get the news. That's important. It takes me a while to figure out what's going on in the world because I don't have a TV. So I get all my information from YouTube. And depending on how busy I may not even get a lot of information. So I'm going to be honest. Some people are, what are you, hiding under a rock? Yeah, I was probably hiding under a rock. I didn't realize the significance of this event, but I got it all. You know, we're engineering the sky. The weather is being engineered by our government. And I said, within a week? You're telling me they completely changed the brightness of the sun in a week? No, I don't think so. I was told that, I'm going to show you something. I was told in the video, I said, lifting the panels up and down throughout the year doesn't have that big of an effect on the solar panels. Now again, I've been doing this for years. The very first set I had was attached to the roof. So in the summertime, I was actually not facing the sun as well as I was in the wintertime. That was years ago. But now they're on the ground, I can lift them up, put them down, whatever I want to do all the time. So I said in that video that I got 6 panels on one charge controller, 6 panels on the other charge controller. So I can kind of know where my problem is. If I have a problem on the left charge controller, then I know the panels in the back and those 2 up there. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panels there go to the left charge controller. The front panels here and the one over there on the corner in the back go on the right charge controller. So if I have a problem with a panel, then I know that, you know, what side it's on, because the charge controller is not going to match the other charge controller. One's going to be with less amps. Somebody said, you don't even know what you're talking about when it comes to amps, and you're supposed to be measuring everything in wattage. I understand that. It's a 100-watt panel. But if you got all the volts you need, let's say it's 17 volts, 18 volts, 20 volts, and no amps, I think I need to focus on the amps. So if you understand wattage, wattage is volts times amps equals watts. So as far as wattage was concerned, I only had, out of 100 watts per panel, I only had 17 watts. Because I was 17 times, I think I said 3 amps in that video. So 17 times 3. So, yeah, everybody's an expert. So as I was saying, you know, I said in that video, tilting these up and down really doesn't make a huge effect. And I have studied this a lot. Have you done any studies to prove this? Because you're wrong. No, I'm not wrong. As a matter of fact, after I made that video, I thought, you know, just for the sake of argument, I'm going to check. So you can see here, the front panels are still kind of lowered down. And I went ahead and tilted the back panels to see if I can make any difference between the 2 charge controllers. Guess what? It didn't change any. It didn't move. So I guess the angle has nothing to do with it, especially when we're talking a loss of about 54 amps. So no, that wasn't it. So what else was there? Oh, one guy, I guess, advertised. I don't know why these YouTubers do this. A new YouTube channel will always start up. They'll come on your channel, criticize what you're doing, and say, if you want to learn how to really do it, come over to my channel. I don't understand that, because first of all, YouTube doesn't even want you to do that. But if you do, you shouldn't really tick off the guy you're commenting about, because that guy can just block you. So you'll never be able to comment again or advertise your channel on my channel ever again. Brilliant idea. So he comes over. This guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. He said that you can run your solar panels in the shade and it will produce as much electric as not in the shade. That's wrong. What? I never said that. Never. He completely made it up. So that wasn't even right. And of course, I mean, I got, like I said, tons of comments about engineering. Now, I did kind of agree with 2 comments that it could be. I don't want to deny all the comments. It could have been. The only problem is it's only happened for a week. So I'm not really sure. Besides that, it's never happened before. You know, I've been here 4 years with these solar panels. So why is it happening this year? Didn't make sense. So one person, or a couple people said, you probably have a short somewhere. And I could. Don't want to dismiss that. I even said it in a video, but I can't really do anything right now until the snow's cleared. And the other one was, which I don't really agree with, but I would have accepted it. Oops, there's my glasses. The snow is kind of covering the bottom of the panel. And yes, some solar panels will restrict if you get any shading on a portion of your solar panels. These are really good solar panels. They're pretty cheap. They're rich solar panels, and they do really well. Another one said solar panels don't work in the wintertime. Well, that is completely false. It's actually the exact opposite. Solar panels will struggle and lose voltage, not amps. Wait a minute, I thought we were supposed to only talking wattage. Voltage, it will lose voltage in hot weather. Anything over 70 degrees, I think is what and you can actually do a mathematical formula to tell you how much you will lose for every degree over 70 degrees. Fahrenheit. If you need Celsius, you can calculate that on Google. So, that wasn't even true. So, you got all these experts that come in and just start screaming at you. The thing is the very next day, we had full sun, no clouds in the sky, and the panels were working perfectly. And it was even colder, so I don't know about this cold thing. They were just like they always did, worked fine. There was no issues at all. So the snow's still on the ground. At the time, the panels were still covered at the bottom. So I was getting about 40 amps. Oh, wait a minute, I'm supposed to talk about wattage. I was getting about 40 amps. Typically on a bright sunny day like that, I would get 60. So that would account for the shading from the snow. So that worked. I understood that. So everything was working just fine. So I decided to try to figure out why it was so dim that day. So I said into Google, why is the sun dimmer and I typed in the day, and Google came back with the LA fires have produced some smoke and health conditions will be bad, and it talked about the smoke from the LA fires. I was like, oh, yeah. I didn't think they were that bad, but I guess that would happen. I know that a few years ago, Canada was on fire, and apparently it was affecting like Minnesota, Michigan, and at least the northern states, maybe even over in there. I think I even saw a picture of New York was really dim from the Canada fires. So yeah, probably even New York. I would think, wow, that's a long distance. That was 2,000 miles, 1,500 miles, whatever it is to us. But that's what it was. As the fire started to diminish in LA, they started getting a handle on it. The sky cleared up, and the sun was just as bright as it had been. So what was so fascinating about this is the only person that came up with the right answer was a guy from New Zealand. He is in the southern hemisphere. He's in a complete opposite hemisphere. And he even said, I'm from New Zealand, so I don't really know. And that's when you know that a guy is really trying to put an effort into a suggestion, not trying to call you stupid or anything. When they come in with so much confidence, well, it's because it's so cold. Your panels don't work in the cold. Give it up. First of all, he was just completely wrong. And secondly, he didn't say, could it be that it is so cold? That's the kind of answers that people should give. That's the kind of answer I would give. I wonder that's what I would always state. When I think I have an idea, I always say, I wonder. If I have factual information, I will attach some sort of website or give my links and whatever it is I need to provide as proof. Okay, this is what your problem is. You might want to look at this, and here's some articles that you can read to confirm that. That's what I would say. Not trying to be arrogant. I didn't come up with the information, but these people are they know everything. But a guy from New Zealand says, could it be? I'm from New Zealand, so I don't really know. And he got it right. Those are the things that I struggle with society, is this arrogance that apparently New Zealanders don't have. But in America, which is why I have so many problems with this channel, in America, everybody knows everything. How can you have 50 different answers in the comment section and they all be right? The only person that's not right is the guy looking at the solar panels and looking up at the sky and saying, It's dimmer. This is just fundamentally dimmer than it was a week ago. No, that ain't it. Well, how do you know? You're not here. You didn't see it last week. I don't know. I don't understand people. I guess I never will. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video on my other channel. It's my new channel. And I think I'm working on a teaching you how to pull, replace a pull rope on your lawn equipment. This thing. So I hope I can inspire you to lose the arrogance so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.